Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you the programs that I use to do astrophotography. It's just going to be a quick, easy crash course of the basics of the programs. In later videos I'll go in more detail and more depth of each one of the programs. But for now, just something just to give you an idea of what it takes to get the images that I do. I'm Larry Byrge and you're watching Byrge Astrophotography. Okay, here we are on the laptop, and I'm just going to go through real quickly each one of the software programs that I use to capture the images that I do with my telescope. And once I have the images captured, I'll show you what kind of software I use to stack the images and what kind of software I use to do my post-processing. And it's all just going to be a quick run through of these programs. In later videos I might show some more detailed information on these programs, but for now I'm just going to do a quick run through of what I use. The first program that I use is a program called Backyard EOS, and I use it to connect up my DSLR camera to my laptop and connect it to my telescope. And the first thing I do is just connect it up. And you'll see the image pop up on the screen once you do frame and focus. Click on that. And you can see you got an image on the screen now. Just reach down here and get that in focus, and there you go. And you're pretty much ready to start shooting once you get all your settings set in place. Of course, you're going to use bulb or in manual mode, and this is where you'll see that. You'll see where you've got what you've got it set on, what your ISO is set on, the quality of your image, which you want to shoot raw when you're shooting astrophotography, because that way you're not getting compressed images. You want as much detail as possible when you're shooting astrophotos. But all you have to do really is once you get all your settings correct, just go in here and you want to set your duration. For example, like if you want to take like a 30-second shot, you just plug in your 30 seconds or 5 minutes, 300 seconds. And of course, the longer the better. But in astrophotos, you don't want to go no more than 3, 4, 5 minutes at the most. And then what you want to do is you want to stack those once you get those all collected. But once your images have all been taken, then you're going to, we'll close out that. I'll show you the next program that I use. Before I go on to that, I'll show you let's see, this is a program. This is EQ ASCOM or EQ Mod, and this is the software that controls my telescope. You can slew the telescope northwest, east, south, eliminating the use for a hand controller, which is very nice. I like the software control myself. But once you get your images downloaded to your machine, then you want to go and pull up a program called Deep Sky Stacker, or this is what I use anyway. And you just pull all your dark frames, your flat frames, bias frames into this program, and it'll stack them all together for you. and it'll save your image as a TIFF file, which is usually a pretty large file. And this is a program that I use to do my guiding. Some of you may know, some of you may not, that anytime you're doing deep sky astrophotography, you want to guide. There's no machine part that's going to be made perfect. So your gears in your mount are going to slip from time to time. And when that happens, of course, when you're centered on a star or whatever you may be imaging, when you're centered on your image, it's going to slip off from time to time, and you're going to get some blurred images, and it's just, you're not going to be happy with the results, I can guarantee you that. But this is my guide program that I use, most people use, just about everybody uses. It's called PhD2. Just connect button here, and I use a ZWO-ASI 120mm guide camera. And this is the mount that I use, EQ Mod, which I showed you a second ago, that the software program to control my mount, and AGQ 5 or 6. It's the equivalent of the mount that I have. I have an Orion EQG, which is the same thing as a AGQ 5. But once that's all connected up, you find a guide star, lock on your guide star, and start guiding. This is, and I'll show you a guide graph. Let's see, I've got a program here called PhD2 Log Viewer. I'll pull that up and show it to you. Now this is the guiding graph from that night. This is the number that you're interested in right here, 1.43 arc seconds, which is not that great of guiding actually. You really want your guiding to be under 1 arc second, ideally. It was really low on the horizon. It was the Andromeda galaxy, and the lower on the horizon, I seem to have worse guiding than when I do higher in the sky. So hopefully the next time I get out, I'll be able to shoot a little higher in the sky, and hopefully my guiding will be a little bit better than that. The next thing we want to look at, Photoshop. And when I bring a astrophoto in from Deep Sky Stacker, a lot of times this is pretty typical of what you're going to see. Washed out, faded, not very impressive. But with a little bit of editing and some curves adjustments and some levels, you can get this thing looking pretty good fairly quick. And I'll just kind of give you a run through of what you can do with it, what it looks like. Just kind of adjust the levels a little bit. And you want to convert it. And I'll go through all this in later videos, step by step, as to what kind of steps you want to take. I'll do an in-depth tutorial on how I process my images. But for now, I'll just do a few curves adjustments and some levels, just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do pretty quickly. And you're going to see a real purplish haze on this because there's a lot of sky or light pollution rather. You can remove a lot of that pretty quickly using levels though. There you are. Just take that sky glow out of there and do another Byrge adjustment here. And you can see the nebulosity starts to come out pretty quickly once you start doing the curves. It's easy to blow it out if you do too much. Yeah, just like that, for example. But anyway, that's pretty good, quick and easy and dirty example of how to process an image. And like I say, I'll go into some more detail in later videos later on, and show you how to do that a little better. Well, I think that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.